And we're back. Podcast 64.
Yep, 32.
That's close. It's raining outside.
Yeah, semi-annoying. It's needed, but it seems like as soon as I set out a day, like, hey, I'm gonna go do this, it rains. So
Yeah, we needed it really bad. The clover it's starting to green up already from this little bit of rain that we've got. Kind of been on and off all day. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of annoying, but I was going to slap a sticker that Austin sent me on the back of my truck. Well, I'm not going to do that today. So
yeah, the clover on my farm is like bright green on trail cameras. There's a couple hens on it yesterday, which is pretty cool. They don't live right there, but I think there's a resident flock of birds in like the section. So there's been toms there in the past. I mean, there was like 3 years ago, there was one there almost every morning. So I don't know, be interesting. Did you get a landowner's turkey tag last year?
No, I don't, because I didn't have it in any contract. Now it's in timber reserve, so I do qualify.
Is it additional or is it not?
Well, since you're going to CRP, you can get it. It is. I think it's not additional. I believe it's cheaper.
And it's good for all 4 seasons, right?
Yeah, but I don't think I'll have to look into that because I don't.
Yeah, I haven't looked, and I mean I can ask my uncle, but
yeah, I think it's cheaper, but it's only for your farm, and then you can't get the statewide. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that, but I've never had that issue to look into. I guess I'll have to ask the local CO and see what he says, or look it up in the regs. But
yeah,
it would be
I don't.
additional.
If it was additional, I think I would do it. But if it's not, I don't think I will, just because there's so few birds there. Maybe I'll get one of the kids on a bird if they're there or something like that. But yeah, if I'm set to just that farm, that would suck. Only be able to hunt there and not having any birds that are consistent.
Yeah, that's kind of like my farm. They're kind of random. So
yeah.
But I did get a text just before we jumped on here, kind of the midday. Turkeys are gobbling behind my in-laws, so that's kind of cool. Jeff sent me a text.
Okay.
I have a hawk blind coming, the man cave. I'm going to put underneath the hawk office, so Jace can be kind of ground level with them this year. And we kind of discussed that before, but it's nice to have, instead of that angle, they'll be ground level with them. And there's plenty of birds there, so that's probably my number one spot.
Yeah, we've killed. Have I ever killed a bird there? I don't think I've ever killed one there. I've been with you killing birds.
Yeah, it seems like we've always had a slam dunk.
I took Sophie there like her second year youth hunting during 4th season, and second or third year, man, it was like mosquito heaven. It was so bad. I didn't realize it was wet, and she had like tennis shoes, and she was soaking wet before it even got light, and I felt so bad. And then the birds stayed right on the neighbor's property in that field and just wouldn't come in. And
yeah, they tend to, that last field, it's pretty dynamite unless they roost in the first field. But we've always had success in that last field, and that's kind of nice driving the Tour V down to the first, like, or the second field, hopping off there and jumping right in a blind. It's pretty convenient to sneak down there, and you don't have to get up, an hour before sunlight. You just get there right as they start gobbling and set up, and they come running in usually. It's been pretty fun the last couple of years.
Yeah. There's always birds there. We almost doubled up. Was it 2 years ago? Or was it last year? Where you shot the one of Jason the blind. It must have been 2 years ago because he wasn't hunting at all.
Yeah.
Where we had that one come in, it was super windy, and you had that one come in and blow up the decoy and killed him, and then we had that other one like 70 yards away that just wouldn't commit.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago down by the blind. Yeah.
Where the tower blind is now. Yep. It wasn't there before.
Right. Yeah, it's a good area. It's gonna be fun. I think I frost seeded evolved clover down there, and it's starting to pop already. It's kind of lush and green, and it's the perfect strut zone. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Yep, it should be good. I'm I'm past the shed hunting. I mean, there's still deer holding, and it's just been a weird year. Everybody you talk to says it's been like the weirdest year shed hunting they've ever had. Even guys finding them. Like somebody was going back and forth with me on Instagram, and they said they found like their 100th shed the other day, and he's like put on like 200 or 300 miles or something like that. That's what he does in the spring. He loves it, and a lot of 4-wheeler stuff. But he's like, it's not how it normally is. He's like, there's just random, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely an outlier year, and it is what it is. And like you said, you're pretty much done. I'm pretty much done, and we'll probably find some during shed season, but it is what it is. And or we'll find a lot next year. I'll shoot up in random spots. So
Yeah. I might have one more walk in me, but yeah, I'm not too worried about it at this point. I only had like one deer I really wanted to find his sheds to, and I looked in the area that I thought he would be in, and nothing. So I'm not too worried about it.
I will say one thing I did learn this last shed season is between the neighbors and I, and then a couple other buddies, the deer that the amount of traveling they're doing after deer season. I mean, 2 miles is nothing in a night. And that's kind of not, it's kind of an urban area, but it's not. At the same time, there's some ag and stuff, and these deer are traveling. Like the big deer that I was trying to find the shed to, that I probably put in, I would say anywhere from 15, probably around 15 hours, 5 or 6, 7 times. I don't know. I looked a lot for his shed. I thought he lost it on me, and then he headed north. I had a wild game camera catch him going north. I'm like, okay, he's probably going to the cornfield. No, he went 2.2 miles north up by Toad Valley and lost his antler, which is absolutely insane. That he went. So, and then the same kind of area, same farm, that split G2 buck, he was going 2.5 miles as a crow flies. So who knows, traversing in the timber, he's probably going 3 or 4. But
Right.
pretty interesting to see how far they go. I mean, Newt did that too with his one shed, and he came back the next night. So
Yeah. And then
gypsy.
like we haven't had a hard winter besides like those 2 or 3 weeks. It's been like super low pressure, like not stressful on them at all. It's been warm, so they haven't had to deal with, staying on a food source like they do in the past, and they're only like 100 yards away from a field or where they're going to eat. Now they can just go wherever they want. The acorns aren't rotten. There's browse everywhere. They can basically do whatever they need to.
Yeah, we did have that 3-week stretch of 30 inches of snow and extreme cold that they were in the thermal cover. Then they dropped and did exactly what you just said. So they dispersed, and that's why their antlers are hard to find too. They're out there somewhere. Just you got to get lucky on them.
Yep, I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean, on to the next. I think now that Jen is home and we're not traveling back and forth, once she gets healthy, I'm gonna start hitting for walleyes. Had a couple buddies catching them the other day, and I have a honey hole that I need to get to. So I got the poles behind me, sitting by the door, and I'm ready to go hit my little walleye spot.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. I don't do it much anymore. Living in Ankeny, there's so much competition right here. It's just it's almost not worth it. You remember Joel Hansen that went catfishing with us? He sent me a message the other day, and he was like, "Hey, I was thinking about coming down to walleye fish. You've been hearing anything?" I'm like, "Not really," but I hadn't talked to you about it, so I figured if they are, I mean, they should be starting. Go down to the bridge downtown in Des Moines or below the reservoir. Or,
Scott Street or below Saylorville, 2 really good spots. And then once that warms up, those white bass and wipers will run up in there, and that's really fun. That's a blast. They're not near to eat as walleyes are, but I would say they're probably funner to catch. So
yeah, they're easier to catch too.
yes, they are. But besides that, we had the last podcast. We gave away the hawk blind to a young hunter, which was pretty exciting. Maybe next year we'll do something different. We kind of talked about it, but it was kind of a good turnout at the Deer Classic. I guess we kind of recap that real quick. Apparel went pretty good. If you guys still want any apparel, Outdoor X Media stuff, you can contact Jesse. He's got some stuff at his house that's left over. So
Yep. Yeah. Either send me a private message or somewhere on the Outdoor X socials, either the Instagram or Facebook or something like that, and I can get all your information and ship stuff out to you. I have pretty much some of the smaller sizes or the super big sizes I don't have, but if you're a large or an extra large, I got whatever you want. So
yep. Summer, spring's coming. Summer's going to be not too far away. It's going to be exciting. I think we got some cool ideas that we're going to do with our YouTube that we won't spoil that yet, but be looking for some cool videos to drop yet this summer. Still out deer, obviously, but other than that, I mean, what do you got on the agenda? I know you guys are going to be busy with family stuff and
yeah, going to the Dells this weekend, and I mean we'll be headed home by the time this airs, but yeah, next I got the survey done on my farm the week of the Deer Classic, and I finally got a chance to get down there this last week and check it out. And I was pleasantly surprised on where the line was. I kind of knew where it was on the one side, based off a neighbor's fence, but there was an old fence on the other side that you could tell wasn't right. But you never know, and I couldn't find the pin, so had a surveyor come in and he staked it out every probably 50 to 75 yards, just kind of depend where it was, put a rebar rod in and lath with ribbons, so I know exactly where my property line is, and it's about where I thought it was, which is nice because I got a corner I might do something fun with, a little plot. We'll see. Maybe
yeah,
maybe a next year project. I don't know. We'll kind of see how the summer goes.
a lot on the docket as far as the CRP going in. You're probably going to put a pond in there. We're working with we have a new company.
Earth Pond.
Earth Ponds, and we're going to put up some ponds, and I'm going to do mine kind of where I put the other one so I catch that runoff. It's going to be nice once that clover's up and I don't get a bunch of dirt in there, and that clover will help with the runoff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and planting some apple trees. That's going to be on my docket this year.
I have the exact same thing. Right where I'm going to put my pond is literally right next to my clover plot. And then there's an actual runoff that comes off the waterway from up the hill, and it's probably like a foot. It's been eaten out like a foot. So I'm going to dig down into that, maybe put some river rock up in there to try to catch some of the silt coming down, but hopefully that'll help keep it full. And then literally right alongside that, I have probably a 25 yard by 10 yard kind of leftover grass right by the edge of the ditch where the trees are. And I'm going to put 2 or 3 apple trees there. They're going to be big. I mean, they're, what do you say, like 35 gallon or 45 gallon trees, and they're gonna be a couple $100 a piece. But I think only being a year or two away from producing will be way beneficial compared to putting in a smaller tree and having to wait 5 or 6 years.
I've actually talked to the nursery, kind of by me, and I deer hunt his place, and he's got some Barrett trees. He said that will produce an apple the first year, so I'm gonna go with those per price and put out a bunch of them. I got some cages I'm gonna throw up and go that route. But going back to the ponds, how you were talking of trying to catch that sediment before it gets in the pond, and that's the biggest thing. We've failed and we've succeeded in these little runoff ponds. The first one I put in, I got kind of lucky. I caught all the runoff, but I have a lot of vegetation around, and there's no sediment in there. The frogs love it. Jace loves it, my son, because he goes and catches the frogs. And last year, the rains that we did get, this pond stayed full, and in the rivers and creeks around us, there was hardly any water. So there is a benefit to those. And hopefully once we get these ponds in our hands, we can kind of show you guys on our YouTube channel kind of an install and where we're putting them and why we're doing it and kind of that thing. So I believe, is it a 200 gallon pond, or what are we?
They have 3 or 4 different ones. I I just emailed her yesterday, our rep, and I can't remember exactly what they are, but they're going to get shipped here sooner rather than later. Because I was telling her about the because at the Deer Classic I picked up the mineral. They make a mineral pond. It's like a 50 pound mineral tub. So that's we both have those, and I'm gonna probably install mine in the next month or so, I would guess. Um, I may change where exactly I have it, just for ease of covering it and stuff this fall, and because this will be something you don't have to dig out. I can just cover it completely. And the nice thing about the pond sitting there, the mineral pond, is it's not leaching into the ground. So you don't have to worry about it splashing and then having to dig out dirt to abide by the laws of the state. And
Well,
um
it is to a point leaching in the ground, but it's below the subsurface. Like it's subsurface. It's below the surface. It's down there. The deer aren't going to go underneath and tunnel to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I should have said they have a 12-inch PVC pipe that connects to the low point, so when it rains, it funnels down, and I mean, it's just a PVC pipe. You could put a 2-footer on there if you want, and then now it's 2.5 feet in the ground, and the deer couldn't get to it if they wanted to.
and the best thing to do with that is to get a post hole auger, dig it, and then put that PVC, like, and we'll show you guys how to do this. Level it to where the pond fits, and then dig a hole, and then put some rock in there, so all that sediment is leaching out through the rocks, and it'll actually have better run that way too. So
Yep.
it'll be fun. I'm excited. The earth pond has an earth tone to it, so it doesn't look as ugly as my other two ponds that are black and stick out.
Yep.
And they're lots the surface area. They cover more surface area, and they're more shallow, so that they look good. I noticed some of the deer are kind of weary when they first come up on the black ponds, but this is a more natural look, so I think it'll help in the long run. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty antsy to get it down there. I think our little tractor will be able to take a little bit off at a time, little bit off at a time, to where we can set these ponds. And because I think you only have to dig down like maybe 8 or 10 inches really to get to the lip. So just depending on where exactly you're wanting to sit it, it may have to be, if it's on a little bit of a slant or something like that, you may have to dig down a foot or so. But I think if we take our time and we do it, honestly do it together and just figure it out, I honestly think we'll reap huge benefits off of these.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we're putting them near a food source too, so they have food and water, and we're gonna be looking at them through our hawk blinds. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Yep. Like I said, I'm excited. The more I think about it, and I mean, I have it in my head. I can close my eyes and I know exactly what it looks like
Yeah.
with this huge lush clover field, the pond right there, the deer come out of the ditch right in through there. I got a big mock scrape right by it, and you know, the hawk blind will be a little bit farther away, but I got a tree stand right there that I need to adjust. But yeah, I can like literally close my eyes and see a big deer coming and shooting that deer off of it.
When you shared my bow hunt from last year at my property, that really kind of got me amped up looking at the Lush Evolved turnips, and I'm ready for that to happen again. That was fun. I got a couple deer on the docket that will be fun following them this summer, and hopefully one grows into an absolute hog. So we'll see. It'll be fun. It's a kind of a never-ending process. It's one thing's done, move on to the next type of thing.
Yeah, no, like I said, that I'm just glad it's finally mine. I got a piece of dirt that's mine. Is it, the most perfect deer farm in the world? Absolutely not. But the amount of stuff that I can do to it to increase it, and me putting in the work and then reaping the benefits, and my kids reaping the benefits, like I already know I'm going to get too attached to it.
It's rewarding, and you'll not want to go hunt any other place, especially when you got cameras out and you know what's around. And you'll probably have I know you'll probably have like 20 to 30 cameras set out. I'm guessing you're gonna have a bunch of wild games, just random.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 running there right now. And I mean, most of it is catching a little bit of turkey. Some of it's, property surveillance and whatnot, but it's basically to see the couple food plots, see if turkeys are coming through, but then to make sure nobody's trespassing, because I am a little bit far enough away but I have buddies that live in the area. So if I have somebody that pulls into the camera, that I see, I can call and be like, hey, I got a guy on my farm. Can you run over there? And
Yeah,
that'll help.
security is huge. I enjoy watching Jen's family, knowing what they're doing when they're doing. Like if Harry's out tobacco, I'm not gonna go turkey hunting that night, or deer hunting. So it's fun for security and family security as well.
Right.
Speaking of that, so one big change that's going to happen in 4 days. We got a guy running a forestry head on the family farm, and he can open up the trails and maybe make us a food plot, or it's going to, I don't know, benefit hunting. It's going to benefit access, and I think that will help with maybe deer movement. And if he really mulches all that honeysuckle, it's going to be a different. I guess on the 40, it's going to be a lot different than it was in the last 10 years. So.
Right. Yeah. And and I'm at the other side where I'm trying to figure out ways to get more, more cover. So can I just cut that honeysuckle and go and transplant it? Or?
Yeah, you cut it all. You got to cut it all first before you try.
Yeah, and that's the worst part when I was saying earlier how the rains kind of screwed me over twice. The 2 times in the last month that I've been like, I'm gonna go get this red osier dogwood. I know right where it is, but I have to drive through a ag field to get to it. The 2 times I'm like, yep, this is the day I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fill the bed of my pickup full of it. I can have all I want. It's rained the day I want to do it, and I cannot get back there. Like I don't want to go on a 4-wheeler, and because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it once, and I'm gonna fill the bed of my truck with hundreds and hundreds of red osier dogwood stems.
Too bad the state wouldn't allow you to take it from like the road ditch and then.
See, and that's what I've always wondered that.
It's literally invigorating the plant when you cut it, and it's
right. And I mean, there's some on the interstate that you can tell were planted like 2 years ago. They're only like this tall, but then there's some that are 10 feet tall that need trimmed.
Yeah.
So
cool. Yeah, that's fun. Habitat management. I guess with that being said, we're gonna be burning here soon with work. Once I get back, I've been kind of out of work for the last, I don't know, 30 days, month with Jen's health, but we might get out of a burn ban. We've been in a burn ban. I think most of Central Iowa has been, but this rain's going to help that tremendously. So.
Oh yeah, it'll knock all the dust and stuff down too, which we definitely needed, and I'm ready for it. Like I said, I got a little bit of dirt work that was supposed to be done on the farm here in the next week, probably. I don't think he's going to get to it tomorrow. Obviously, it rained, so he's not going to take his machinery down there and mess with it now. But I think the first part of the week, I'm going to get that crossing put in, and then that opens a whole nother project. I get to take the chainsaw and all that stuff and be able to access with my 4-wheeler to that back part of the northeast corner that I realized that I have on my property. So
yeah, that's fun.
I'm excited. Like I said, all the little things, I'm just gonna have to start spending more time doing it. But I've kind of waited on that access. Like I've waited to put in the mineral pond till I can get this access. I got a big dead tree I need to cut down back there right on the property line. I've waited to do that, so I'm not having to walk up and down ditches with chainsaws and stuff. If I can just drive my 4-wheeler right to it.
Yep, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
So I guess we're on a short time crunch here. Things going on. I got things going on. So we're going to end it with one tip of the day. If you guys have any wild game cell cams, put them on the free 100 picture plan. It's free.
Copper plan.
And then put them out for a longer delay. So those 30 days, that month, you're getting all those free pictures, and then it just resets the next month. And that's the best advice I can give you. Put them down low for turkeys, chest high, and try to find those green food sources or those fence gaps, and try to locate some turkeys. So it's close. I got to grab some cameras out of my totes here and get that out, and when I get some time, and I think April 4th or 5th is youth season here in Iowa. So it's going to be fun. Like I said, I got 2 blinds I need to set up, and we'll be good to go.
Yep, I'm headed to Nebraska the week before, and hopefully me and Mitch can kill a couple turkeys and start it off. So I'm excited. Like I said, that's literally a couple weeks away, like 2.5 weeks away, and I'll be turkey hunting. So I need to kind of get my stuff together.
And after that's youth season, so you'll be
Yep, youth season, then right into bow. You know, I bow hunt just because my schedule's different. I never know when I'm going to get to go, and um, then I usually get that 4th season gun tag because I'm irritated at my bow hunting and just want to shoot one in the face. So get that out of the way, and then try to kill one of the bow. So
there you go.
Yeah, but I think that wraps everything up, at least for the update now. We got a couple shed hunts left on YouTube that we're going to drop, but I'm slowly starting to filter in the turkey hunts that we didn't use from last year. I think I have 2 or 3 more before we even start going. So we have content to get us to opener.
Yeah, and if you want to see the big 3, Jesse just dropped a new video of our staff members' biggest sheds, and there's some
big sheds.
Yeah, there's some big sheds.
Yeah, for sure. It was fun doing it and just seeing other people's sheds.
Yep. If you're new to the podcast, go to Outdoor X Media on YouTube, and you can find us there. So we appreciate you guys listening and/or watching. And we out.
Awesome. All right. See you later.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening.